Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. We're excited for today's video. So it's Thursday. On Thursdays, I try to do Thursday's Thirsty Thoughts, come up with a topic. Hopefully it's engaging, get the comment section going, and with your thoughts. So I share my thoughts, and I want to hear your thoughts. So this was an idea I came up with the other day. I don't remember. I think I went for a walk, actually, and I just kind of thought about it. Oh, no, I remember, but I don't want to spoil why, because I'll save it for the end. So as you can see from the title, I'm having a hard time wording it exactly how I want it. It's essentially like, what's the best thing about blank brewery that you think besides their beer? So like, yeah, beer's a given. This is a beer review channel, beer, right? So like, maybe they do a weekly trivia night that you love going to, and they do themes, and it just seems to really resonate with you. Maybe it's their food program, and they have like your favorite, a meal there. They do nachos really well or whatever. So you're like, yeah, like I like going for the beer, or you don't. But you're like, but man, their food program's good. Maybe they have a cool cocktail program. They make the best Moscow Mule that you've ever had. So like, it could be entertainment stuff. Maybe they do like a rotating series of stand-up comics. Maybe it's a food thing. Maybe it's a different drink besides the beer. They do your favorite hard seltzer or something. Could be other liquids that they make. I'm trying to think of other stuff. I think one other idea there. So like food-wise, the brewery's not around anymore, but there was a brewery called Water Street in Binghamton, New York, and they had like the best black bean burger I've ever had. So like, that was always a nice perk. They had really good beer as well. Like, their Hefeweizen is the best Hefeweizen I've ever had made in the United States. And I'm really sad that I can never have that again, because again, the brewery doesn't exist anymore. But that black bean burger was also freaking awesome. I think of, I'm not trying to have this conversation, but Fiden's old menu had a really good root vegetable taco, or it was maybe 3 tacos on the plate. That was really good, that I liked. So I definitely, I get the food thing. I've had fun at breweries doing different events they've had. I loved when they did the Black is Beautiful. A lot of breweries did the Black is Beautiful initiative. I thought that was a really cool thing. I mean, it's beer related, but like them choosing to do an initiative, some sort of charity thing could also be one of your answers. But here's the thing I landed on, and I can't believe I didn't remember how I thought of it. But the other day, I was driving, and I was just, your mind wanders. It was a long drive. I was alone. I had a podcast going. I kind of zoned out from what the podcast was talking about. It was about parenting and being a father specifically. So it got me thinking, like, being a stepfather. And I don't talk about step often. I just talk, they're my kids, like, in my head. But technically they are my stepkids. And I got thinking about it. Back in the day, another brewery that doesn't exist anymore, sadly, it's called the Farmhouse Brewery, and it was in Owego, New York. And I believe they were like the guy Marty was the first malter in New York, or like the first malter since Prohibition, or the first malter in New York in like decades. It was like something like that, but then he decided to make a brewery. They had 2 locations, and this brewery, Lucky Hair, took over their Owego location. But anyway, when they were still a location, and my wife and I were dating, and like that was going well, and we had that conversation of like, all right, I think this is solid enough that it is time for me to meet your kids and see if like all that also gels, before we kept, taking steps until obviously we got married. And, trying to butter up the kids, this brewery would make actual soda, like legit soda. And they had a really good creamsicle one. And so I would get those little growlers of the sodas. I think it was typically root beer, if I remember correctly, and definitely the creamsicle. And I remember the creamsicle so well because A, I love creamsicle, but B, it actually, because they used real vanilla, it had the little speck. So I had to explain to the girls, oh no, this is real vanilla. This isn't some sort of extract, which is, technically real vanilla. This isn't some sort of imitation vanilla that tricks your brain into thinking you're tasting vanilla. They actually scrape out the vanilla beans, and these little black specks are the actual real vanilla. That's why it tastes so good, in my opinion. And it was like definitely like one of those things I don't want to say, I don't use the word bribed, but definitely used to get them in my good graces and to like me, so that when I asked them if it was okay with them to ask their mom to marry me, they're like, yeah, we're all in on this guy. He's great. He loads us up on sugar and other stuff, takes us out to dinner, and is a nice guy, makes my mom happy. So anyways, when I was buttering him up, I'll use that term instead of bribing. I'm getting choked up thinking about my kids. I love my kids so much. So I was like, oh wait. I'm like, yeah, that's like the coolest, best non-beer thing that I've experienced at a brewery is me, I almost said bribing, me buttering up my future kids with the creamsicle one in particular. So that's my answer. I hope I kind of put out enough stuff at the beginning of the video to get you thinking what your answer might be. So yeah, essentially something, I'm going to try to clean it up with the title. The best non-beer thing a brewery does. Maybe that'll be the title. What are your answers? Comment section below. Let's get those conversations going. Once you're done doing that, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.